Okay, let's get started. In this video, I'm going to talk about my belief that different people learn at different paces, and how we learn. We learn in different ways. We learn by doing, we learn by failures, we learn through experience, hands-on. There's many ways that we can learn. And I don't know that there's any right way, wrong way, but I know my way, and I know that I've been a slow learner, and that's okay. And what I mean by slow learner, it takes me a little bit longer to get up the learning curve than many others. But I know that if I stick with it, I'll reach an inflection point where things really start to click and things start to become much clearer to me, like a realization that happened to me today. And I want to share a little bit about that with you. Hi, I'm Bill, and welcome to the channel. So let's maybe start here. Back in June of 2022, up at the Golden State Star Party in Aden, California, I imaged the Cygnus Loop. At the time, I was using my Zenithstar Z61 Mod 2, great telescope as far as optics and everything, but with its 360 millimeter focal length, I had to shoot a 2-panel mosaic, and at the time, I really didn't know some things that are much clearer to me today, and we're going to get into that. Here I have, if we go into the technical card, kind of looking off screen here, but I was shooting just HA and O3, and I only had 7 hours of integration using my ASI 294mm on my Skywatcher EQ6R Pro mount, which I no longer have. This is basically the state of my knowledge level back then, both from the perspective of capturing signal as well as image processing. And again, this was under Bortle 1 skies, so 7 hours of data. Recently, with my move to a remote observatory, I have been thinking about that I really am going to have an opportunity to take or put more time on a particular target. What I've been doing wrong in my mind for the last 4 years is I was trying to fill up my Astrobin catalog. I wanted to get a lot of images in there. And if you saw my video the other day where I said I wasn't processing some data that I had captured because I wasn't sure I had enough time on a particular object. And it's really a lot clearer to me today that that's true. Much of the data that I collected, I probably should have done more time on. But with the decision to go into the remote observatory, I decided in the October new moon and November new moon down at Borrego Springs, California at nightfall 2024 to just sit on 2 targets, to do something that I've never done before. And now, I know the results, and was it worthwhile to sit on those 2 targets? And here is the result of my decision to sit on the Cygnus Loop target for roughly 25 hours. And if we kind of do a comparison, which is a little bit hard, well, I do have the Cygnus Loop in here. And even if I bring that full screen and we scroll in, it's noisy, and generally it's noisy because I don't have enough signal. And areas here, I don't know, they're kind of meh. Again, because I don't think I never thought I had enough time. And turns out I think I was right. But it just like took me 4 years to get there. So if we take a look at the data I just collected for Cygnus Loop, and we start to drill into some areas here, we start to see that more time on the target. Again, this was the ASI 294mm Pro. The other difference between this and the one I did back in 2022 is I decided to use all three filters, HA, S2, and O3. And even though this is an HOO image, when I did the combine, clearly I'm getting a lot more detail in here, and I find that pretty exciting. And it's really kind of supporting even this there's a little object up here somewhere, just getting a little bit of the nebulosity there. Much more detail around this area here. So it's a big learning experience for me. I haven't been spending enough time on my targets, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to redo the processing on the Spaghetti Nebula that I showed in a video I released the other day. I don't think I have my black point at the right spot. And the other thing I'm doing here is when I stretch the stars to bring them back into the image, I stretched in a way that I reduced the total number of stars, because I often feel that the stars, shooting at 250 millimeter, you get a lot of stars, and I often feel that the stars can sometimes block our view of some of these finer detailed areas on the image. And so I was very careful in how I stretched. We have this star here that's always prominent in Cygnus Loop images, but again, doing 25 hours, and now I wish I would have done 30 or 35 hours, maybe bring out more of this faintest detail. But I think definitely, and I mean, I've always heard, more time on a target, getting more signal, quality signal, can definitely help. But I never really put that into practice. I was always kind of in a rush. I'm traveling, 473 miles or 500 miles, and I'm only going to be out there for 3-4 days, maybe 5 days at most. And I was kind of focused on, again, building out my Astrobin catalog instead of putting more time on each target to pull out even the finest details, more details. So, this is my Cygnus Loop 2024. I'm going to put it up on Astrobin. Again, what did I say, about 25 hours, not including an hour of RGB stars. And this couldn't happen. I'm really glad I made the decision to spend a lot of time on both the Spaghetti Nebula and this, and just sit on it night after night collecting that data, because now gives me the right direction for when these telescopes go into the observatory, to not really focus so much on trying to fill out my catalog of images, but taking the opportunity to spend more time per target to collect a lot of signal. Now, how much is enough? I don't really know. I think that's where we get to explore. But clearly, you know, before these two images that I collected in October and November new moon, this and the Spaghetti Nebula, I don't think I ever spent more than maybe at most 12 hours on a target. And I really wasn't really focused on surface, brightness and those type of things. Was it a faint target or not, and those type. So I'm going to be a little bit more mindful when I'm building my exposure plans for how much time I'm going to spend on each target. And this was a fun one once I started seeing it come together. I think if we look here, we can take a look at everything that I did to this image. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. As always, like, share, and subscribe. I will be putting this up on Astrobin, and I will put the technical details, what filters I used, and how much integration time and those type of things, and where I image from. But this data was collected under Bortle 4. While I'm not going to be mobile anymore with my telescopes, they say that the Starfront observatories is in near Bortle 1 skies. I have a sky quality meter built into my Eagle 5S, so I'll have an idea of just how good the darkness is when I'm imaging. But 25 hours under Bortle 1 would have been a fun thing to explore, and then compare it to this image here. All right, thanks again. Appreciate you dropping into the video. Again, thumbs up if you like the content. Comments always welcome. Other than that, clear skies.